welcome to the NASSCOM's product conclave. I'd like to extend a very warm welcome to all of you, and especially to Ravi Gururaj, who now heads the product initiatives at NASSCOM. He's doing an outstanding job. Thank you, Ravi, for bringing this event to Hyderabad. Am I audible now? Yep, thank you. So let me spend next 15 or 20 minutes in trying to tell you why I believe that we need software product companies in India, and what makes me believe that we're almost there in terms of creating a new milestone for this nation. Let's start with the good news. I think aptly so, Rajiv Vaishnav started with that good news too this morning. Look at the IT BPO industry in India at this point of time. This year, we probably would be about $118 billion or so, getting close to about $100 billion of exports. As I said, this is 25-year history of information technology industry. And look at the phenomenal contribution this industry has made. We contribute to 7.5% of GDP of this nation. We contribute to 25% of commodities and services exports of this nation. We have 30 lakhs of people directly employed with the industry. We have as many as 1.2 crores of people who are indirectly employed by the industry. So there is great news with this industry at this point of time. And the great news is that, in the last 25 years, we have done exceedingly well in terms of the capturing the global IT BPO services industry. If you look back a little more, actually the IT BPO spend globally is about a little over $1 trillion. But I believe the outsourceable market, or which is actually for the IT BPO companies, the addressable market is somewhere in the range of about $200 billion. As a single nation, we're almost there in capturing 50% of that addressable market. Let's move on to the bad news. The bad news is, look at how much of this $118 billion or the close to $100 billion of exports that we do this year is all about product. It's a fairly small number. We'll come to that in a moment. But the software product market globally is also a $1 trillion market. It's about $1.2 trillion. That's what the estimates are. And here, the beauty of it is that there's no difference between the market and the addressable market. All of it is an addressable market for you. So the opportunity in terms of the software products is very large. But where are we as a nation in the software product marketplace is in 2013 financial year. We did about $2.2 billion of product export. That's probably, in the total export scheme of things, about, say, somewhere less than 5% of it. But then, you look at what we all believe as the future for the product market space. The future is really bright, and we believe by 2020, we'll get to $10 billion and get to about $100 billion by 2025. That gives you a compounded growth rates of about 24% for the next 5 years or 7 years, and thereafter it gets to in excess of about 50%. Now, what makes me feel that this is going to be true? I think it will be very consistent between what Ravi spoke and I'll speak at this point of time, except that we'll use different nomenclature and different types of slides, is that look at these 3 inflection points. That's what he called them. And I certainly think this is a transition mode that we are in at this point of time. And these 3 inflections that I will talk about this morning is one, I keep calling it as the experience economy. The second one is disruptive technologies. And the third one that I'll talk about is on digital world. So you look at the phases in which the economy around the world went through. We were in a agrarian economy. We moved then into an industrial economy. We moved after that into a services economy. What I believe we live in today is called the experience economy. Not so much so to the software. Let me give you a very simple example. It may sound very mundane, but still I'll give you this example to relate to what I'm talking about. Our fathers, grandfathers, and great-grandfathers went and bought coffee beans to make coffee at home. What did they go and buy? They bought a commodity called coffee beans. They went ahead and did all the rest of the work at home to make sure that they drank coffee. You bought coffee beans for almost like 10 cents a pound, made hundreds of cups of coffee out of it. Then came the industrial equipment, the industrial revolution, where people started saying, no, we'll grind it into coffee powder, we'll make it into instant coffee, we'll make it into different sachets of different requirements you have, and deliver it to you. You move the value to the producer. So therefore, it became the industrial economy, where you started saying that probably to buy a pound of coffee powder, it will cost you $5. Then came the next change, but the value was being captured by the producer of coffee powder. That was the second one. The third one is then we all decided to say, oh no, why make this coffee? We go to a restaurant and have a cup of coffee. And so we moved it to somebody else to create that, make the coffee for you, and that was the service economy. So he captured the value. He did all the effort in terms of making sure that he put that effort to give you a cup of coffee. It moved from hundreds of cups of coffee for 10 cents of coffee beans, it moved into $1 to $2 for a cup of coffee that we wanted to pay. Move on to the next one now, and that's the service economy. You go to Coffee Day Cafe, you go to Barista Cafe, you go to Starbucks at this point of time. What do you do there? You still drink the same cup of coffee, but you go for an experience. You like the ambience, you like the color, you like the crowd, you like the colors. That's what the global economies are looking for. That's the big opportunity you have. That's the inflection point you have for the transition to come in. So therefore, our belief is that there is certainly a big opportunity in terms of products for me to once again say that there is opportunity for us to move from that $2.2 billion in 2013 going all the way to $100 billion by 2025. Move on to the second inflection is what I keep calling it as the disruptive innovation in technology. Ravi also touched upon on this particular point, is that I think the times we live, you see enormous amount of disruption that is happening in technology. From different perspective, be it from the technology perspective, it's the delivery model innovation, or it is the revenue model innovation. That's the business model innovation. In all of them, certainly you see that there is a disruption that's happening. While change has always been there all around the world, starting from I think, the early 18th century when we started getting industrialization, where windmills came in, electricity, and so on and so forth. But today's environment where we live, the amount of change, the pace of change, as also the reach of the change is enormous, never paralleled. What does this disruption do? First thing for sure is that it creates enormous amount of comfort for the end user.